Good morning, student. Today, this is in our second version of the Toyota production system. Today, we are on the TQM and Japanese success. There is a total quality management and the Japanese success. Okay, starting with the Toyota. Okay, starting with Toyota. Toyota, it's basically a giant Japanese mobile company. That was a pioneer in the development and applications of various productivity improvement techniques under a system which is known as Toyota production system. Okay, so Taiichi Ono is the person. Taiichi Ono is the who developed the Toyota production system after it was the time of after World War II. Okay, now what is basically TPM believes in a theory that is a quality product always comes from a quality process. That is actually the TQM. A quality product comes from a quality process. That is actually the TQM. Now, Japanese success actually Japanese success in global automobile and parallelly also in electronic industry. That is basically an implementations and adaptations of so many things. Okay, so many things, 10 to 12 things there are. Okay, so what is actually they are implemented? What is actually they are implementing? First thing, Jidoka is the one thing. Heijunke is another process. Kaizen is a continuous improvement technique. That is also in process. In Kaizen, you can see in Kaizen there is 5 S's of housekeeping. There's 5 S's of housekeeping. There is a and there is a process of waste elimination. According to the Japanese, it is called muda, M-U-D-A, muda. That means waste. There is the elimination process. In elimination process of the waste, they are using 5 processes. That is overproduction waste, one thing. Processing waste, the second. Defects waste is the third. Transport waste is another, and waiting time waste. There is delay, work delay waste. Okay, so 5 S's of housekeeping is an part, and muda, there is the waste, elimination of waste is another thing. Okay, now there is another process which is pokaioke. Pokaioke generally it is means mistake proofing production system. Okay, mistake proofing. Okay, then we have total productive maintenance, that is TPM. We have JIT, which is told previously, JIT, just in time production. We have Kanban, which is told earlier, Kanban. Then we have a process oriented management system. This is also process oriented management system. Then we have a measurement of work standard, that is also a point. And we have here a PDCA cycle, that is also an important, that is planning, doing, checking, and act. There is a PDCA cycle, and we have then SPC, which is the statistical process control, or SPC, and then finally we have a suggestion systems. Okay, now if we start with the Jidoka, which is Jidoka. Jidoka is a basically it is a Toyota concept. Obviously, it is comes from Toyota production system. It is a Toyota concept. So this is a man-machine interface such that the people remain free to exercise the judgment. Okay, so this is a man-machine interface such that the people remains free to exercise any type of judgment. Okay, now what are the principles? Basically, Jidoke is stand on 3 principles. Okay, first is do not make defects, and the second one is do not pass on defects, and third is do not accept defects. So there are 3 principles in the Jidoka system. So do not make any defects in the first, second is do not pass on any defects, and third is do not accept any defects. These 3 is the major principle of a Jidoka system. Okay, now this parallel with the Jidoka, there is a process which is known as Heijunke. Okay, Heijunka is actually applied to achieve a consistent level of production. So to achieve a consistent level of production, Heijunka is applied. Okay, so what are the way actually to apply a Heijunka process in a production system? So the way is there are 4 ways actually to apply a Heijunka. That is, you have a balanced line of first thing, and second, that is equal workload for all, one and all, equal workload for all, and then the target is to reduce the lead time, that is also important, and there is a process that is minimizing the losses of time, that is also involved. So four thing in case of Heijunka, there is first is it is a balanced lineup, and then equal workload for all, and then we have reducing the lead time, and lastly we have the minimizing the losses of time, that is also very important. Okay, so apart from Jidoka and Heijunke, there is a process which is commonly very common and maybe known to all, known to you also, that is Kaizen. Okay, so Kaizen is a process. Kaizen in English we are meaning that is a continuous improvement techniques. It is a Kaizen, continuous improvement techniques. So Kaizen have a 2 part. Firstly, Kaizen has 2 part. First part, it is a 5 S of housekeeping, that is the first part, and there is a second part which is the elimination of waste, that is the second part. Now consider the 5 S. This 5 S system of housekeeping, those are the Japanese word, but anyone can get it into English and anyone can write it in English. So what are the first 5 words? What are the 5 words in Japanese actually? It is the seiri, seiton, seiso, sekastu, and sitsuke. These are the 5 S. Okay, so what are the meaning of these things? So seiri is the first, is the getting rid of any unnecessary item, that's mean seiri. Okay, the getting rid of any type of unnecessary items. Okay, then second word is the seiton. Seiton basically meaning is arranging all your item systematically for a easy interactions. Okay, so use your item systematically for a easy interaction with any item. And then we have seiso. Seiso means this is the keeping your workplace always clean. Okay, that is the seiso. It is keeping your workplace clean. That is the seiso. Then we have seikestu. Seikestu actually a scheduling of regular cleaning and clearing out every operations. That is actually seikestu, because this is scheduling your regular process of your cleaning and clearing out the operations. Okay, sitsuke is the last one among the 5 S. Seikestu, sitsuke. Sitsuke is actually the making all the previous 4 tasks to meet the agreed standard at an agreed interval. Okay, so sitsuke means you have to follow the previous 4 tasks clearly to maintain the standard of the production or quality of the product. That is actually the 5S, which is basically created from the Japanese word. You can write it in English form. This is no problem. Okay, and the second part of the Kaizen is a elimination. This process of waste elimination, which is in Japanese term it is called muda, which is M-U-D-A. It means waste. Okay, this is elimination of waste. Actually, muda means waste, that is ongoing and systematic reduction or elimination of waste. The process is to reduce the or eliminate the waste in ongoing or in a systematic way. Okay, so if you take the level of waste, we can divide that there are 7 type of waste in a production systems. Okay, there are 7 types of waste that are created from a production process. So take first, which are the first is overproduction waste. Okay, overproduction muda or overproduction waste. So what are basically the causes of the overproduction waste? There are 3-4 things in overproduction wastage, that allowing the volume incentive to the Volume, allowing volume incentive to employees. This is the first reason. Second is the use of any high capacity equipment. Third is there if there is any improperness in the line balancing of the production process. And fourthly, there will be a creation of the overproduction waste if you have a poor production planning. So that is important. If your production planning is poor, then that will issue a waste, which is basically known as overproduction waste. Okay, so this is the first. Second, we have a processing waste. It is a processing waste. Processing waste, mainly the causes are, there is an unclear customer satisfaction. It is the main point, unclear customer satisfaction. Second one is if you changes your engineering frequently. So frequent engineering changes can create processing waste. Okay, and if you have a unclear work instruction, in that case it also generates a processing waste. That is a problem also. Okay, third, we have defects waste. Okay, defects waste, this is a processing waste due to the production of defects, that is taken as waste. Okay, so processing due to rework or repair of that type of defects, that also generates waste. And the material which is used due to the defect or due to rework, that is also considered under the defects waste or defects muda. So unclear customer specifications is also a reason for this thing. And lack of process control, that is also creates a defects muda. And if someone is doing job and who is not proper skilled with the machinery systems or with the job, then such type of job done by unskilled personnel, if it is done by unskilled personnel, then it is a chance to be created for creating a defects waste. Okay, defects muda, that is also a reason to create this type of wastage. Okay, now the fourth is a transport waste. Okay, this is a transport muda or transport waste. So transport waste, the causes are, if you the route planning, if the route planning is very poor or rather very clumsy, or poor route planning may causes a transport waste. Or kind of distance supplies. Okay, distance supplies or poor layout or supplying of the material in a place which is unorganized workplace. So that are the systems, that are the process which can create your transport waste. Okay, so poor route planning is the major, poor route planning. Then distance supplies is the another cause. Poor layout is the third reason. And fourthly, you can say that unorganized workplace. It also, any type of unorganized workplace is a major reason to create a transport waste. Okay, so there will be creating of the waste when you transport any material from one place to another place, and if it is not properly planned or if it is not in a proper layout, okay, that will generate a waste, that will be considered under the transport waste. Okay, now the fifth is, it is a waiting time or delay waste, waiting time waste or delay muda. Okay, so what are the causes of waiting time waste? The causes are, if there is any unsynchronized process of production. Unsynchronized process of production can create this type of wastage. Inflexible workforce, the workforce who are inflexible. Okay, if you are using overstaffing, there is also a problem. If you using overstaffing, then this type of wastage will be created. Unscheduled machine, your machine is not, if your machine is not properly scheduled, or delayed due to the material or any type of mankind shortage. If you have a shortage in material or if you have a shortage in manpower, then waiting time wastage will be created. So mainly overstaffing or unsynchronized process is the best reason. Besides this, if there is any unscheduled machine or if there is any delay of the supply of the material or delay in the supply of the manpower, that are also the shortage of that manpower or shortage of that type of material also can create a waiting time wastage or waiting time delay, wastage or waiting time wastage. Okay. Now in sixth position we have a stock waste, stock muda or stock waste. So stock waste, the causes for the stock waste basically is, first one is it is overproduction, which can cause a stock wastage, which can stock wastage. So now yeah, when it is the second major reason for the stock wastage is an imbalance line. If you have an imbalance line, then it can cause a stock wastage. And if your lead time is too long, it's long lead time or a level of high rework, okay, high rework level or long lead time, that are also the reason for to create a stock wastage or stock type of wastage. And within basically within the 7, we have in the 7th position the last type of wastage, which is the motion wastage or motion muda. Motion wastage is a common thing to all the production system. Now if you have a poor layout system, if you have a poor housekeeping system, that will lead to a motion wastage in any time. Now the second major reason for the motion waste is the non-standard work instruction. Non-standard work instruction is an important area. If you have a unorganized location of your storage, unorganized location of your storage, that is also an important causes for this. And material flow in the production to be proper and appropriate. If there is any problem or there is any fault within the material flow toward the production, that will also generate a motion wastage. Okay, so we have 7 thing here. One is overproduction wastage, second is processing wastage, third one is the defect wastage, fourth is transport wastage, and fifth is the waiting time wastage, sixth is a stock wastage, and seventh we have motion wastage. Okay, so clearly it is upon 2-3 things that if you have a imbalance line, then it can it may generate wastage. If you have a unskilled operator or unskilled technician, that will generate a wastage. If you have a improper line balancing, or if you have a unorganized workplace, that will also generate a type of wastage. Processing due to any type of production defects, that will also generate a level of wastage. And always the material which is used due to the defects and rework of that defects, that is also a type of wastage. Because if there is any first time there is any detection of the defects, then you have to take the defects and that will be rework to the new material. So rework, for rework, which type of the material which is used in rework again, that is considered as a wastage. This is a defect waste. Okay, and lack of process and process control can also generate a such type of wastage. So proper route planning, proper organized workplaces, these are the necessary. Okay, proper production planning, okay, proper line balancing, okay, flexible workforce, not to be overstaffed, okay, not to be overstaffed, synchronizing synchronized process of production. These are the requirement if you want to reduce or if you want to eliminate the wastage volume, or if you want to reduce the volume of type of wastage, volume of wastage. Okay, so we are this wastage are divided into 7 heads, but more or less basically there are 4-5 main things which are the main causes of generating any type of wastage in a system of production. Okay, now if we consider the every there is a if you take the waiting time, if you take waiting time, the delay wastage, if you take the wastage. So there are two things which is commonly accepted, that is that there is a material shortage or there is a manpower shortage. It is a common thing to every industry or every production system, that there is a shortage of any material or there is a shortage of any manpower. But calculate the wastage due to this shortage. If you have a shortage in any type of raw material or if you have a shortage in any type of manpower like technicians or engineers, okay, so that will be that time delayed wastage will be calculated, that time the wastage will be calculated. So these are the common things. So the shortage of material and manpower shortage is a common thing to the many production process. Okay, plus waiting time, if you have any man idle, that is also your waiting time, and if you have any machine idle, that is also your waiting time. So waiting time will be calculated in two parts. If your manpower or if your technician, engineers, operator idle, that is a waiting time, or if your machine idle, that is also considered as a waiting time. So that that can create a certain type of wastage. Okay, so now these are all about the MUDA process, actually eliminating wastage of MUDA and 5S, and basically these two are a part of the Kaizen procedure. Okay, so Kaizen procedure have two things. First one is that this is the 5S of housekeeping, and secondly we have the process of elimination of waste, which is in Japanese, which is called, it is MUDA, MUDA. Okay.